Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode. We're working on Unit 6, Lessons 3 and 4. Our topic is Let's Eat. Let's move on to our learning objectives. Okay, so we're going to express facts and points of view. We're going to explain orally, which is verbally and non-verbally, age-appropriate texts, examples, charts. We're going to study the words a piece of, cake, chocolate, fruit juice, and fat. As for language, we're going to be working on should and shouldn't for advice. And our life skills are problem solving, identifying a problem, and suggesting a solution. Now, I want you to look at the photos and read the introduction. What does the article give advice on? Is it on making delicious snacks, eating healthy snacks, or how to stop eating snacks? Healthy snacks. Everyone loves snacks, but some snacks are bad for us. What is the best way to enjoy healthy snacks? Crisps and cakes. It's okay to eat crisps and cakes sometimes, but you should not eat too many of them. Crisps have a lot of fat and salt. Cakes, chocolate, and biscuits have a lot of fat and sugar. Too much of this type of food is bad for our bodies. Fantastic fruit. Fruit is a great snack. It is very good for us, and most people like the sweet taste. You should eat between 2 and 4 pieces of fruit a day. As for beans and vegetables do not have much sugar or fat. They are very good for us, so we should eat a lot of them. Snacks like hummus with carrot and pepper are delicious. Be careful. We should be careful even with healthy food. Fruit juice has got a lot of sugar, so we should not drink too much of it. Olives, meat, and fish sometimes have a lot of salt. So, let's look at each section quickly. The subcategory crisps and cakes. Of course, we can eat crisps and cakes sometimes, but we shouldn't have a lot of them because they are full of fat and sugar or salt. As for fantastic fruits, of course, fruits are great, and we should have between 2 or 4 pieces of fruit a day. It's very good to have beans and vegetables, and they do not have a lot of sugar or fat, so they are good for us. Now, we need to be careful even when we're eating healthy food because some fruit juice has a lot of sugar, so we have to make sure we take it in moderation. Do not eat too much or too little of it. Now, let's answer question 1. What does the article give advice on? About making delicious snacks or eating healthy snacks or how to stop eating snacks? Of course, the answer is B, eating healthy snacks. Good job, guys. Now we're going to move on to our next exercise. Complete the sentences with the words from the article. A lot of cakes and biscuits are bad for our bodies. Number 2, it's a good idea to eat between 2 and 4 pieces of fruit a day. Number 3, blank and vegetables do not have much sugar or fat. Of course, beans and vegetables don't have much sugar or fat. Number 4, blank and fish sometimes have a lot of salt. What do you think has a lot of salt? Of course, olives, meat, and fish sometimes have a lot of salt. And number 5, we shouldn't drink too much fruit juice because it contains a lot of sugar. I want you to remember we can often use a piece of or pieces of with uncountable nouns. Here's a piece of cheese. Eat 4 pieces of fruit. Good job, guys. We're going to move on to exercise 3. Read the article again and complete the diagram. So we have biscuits, cake, chocolate, crisps, fruit juice, and olives. So we have to write down where we will find each one. Is it with a lot of sugar, or a lot of fat, or a lot of salt, or is it the three parts together? So we need to complete the Venn diagram. So if we talk about the intersection between a lot of fat or a lot of sugar, we will add chocolate, biscuits, and cake. As for the intersection between a lot of fat and a lot of salt together, we will add crisps or potato chips. As for olives, we will put it in the circle for a lot of salt. So be careful when you eat olives because they contain a lot of salt. As for the fruit juice, we'll put it in the section that has a lot of sugar. Good job, guys. Now we're going to move on to exercise 4. Think of 4 more types of food and add them to the diagram. Can you think of more types of food and add them to the diagram? Think of the things that you eat and decide if they contain a lot of sugar or a lot of salt or a lot of fat. We have to be aware of what we intake into our bodies. Now we're going to move on to the speaking section. Ask and answer questions in pairs. So, as we ask and answer, we will use should and shouldn't. Number 1, which snacks do you eat? Number 2, which are good for you and which are bad for you? So, the snacks that I eat are nuts, fruits, and vegetables. So, you should eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and some nuts. And you shouldn't eat too many cakes, too many ice cream, or too much fruit juice because they contain a lot of sugar. Now we're going to go on to the language section. Complete the sentences with should or shouldn't. Number 1 is done for us. Let's read it together. We should drink a lot of water. Number 2, we blank have drinks with a lot of sugar. Of course, the answer here is we should not have drinks with a lot of sugar. Number 3, we blank have fizzy drinks. Fizzy drinks are drinks that contain a lot of soda. And of course, the answer is we should not have fizzy drinks. As for number 4, we blank drink a glass of milk every day. And this is we should drink a glass of milk every day. Now we will listen to the interview and check our answers to exercise 6 to make sure that we are correct.
It is important to eat the right things, but we shouldn't forget about what we drink. Dr. Rhonda Zaki is here to tell us more. Dr. Rhonda, what should we drink? Well, we should drink a lot of water. Water is great because it hasn't got any fat or sugar. Okay, so we should drink more water. And which drinks are bad for us? Some drinks have a lot of sugar. So we shouldn't drink these because they are bad for our bodies and they are bad for our teeth. So we shouldn't have drinks with a lot of sugar? Some fizzy drinks don't have any sugar. Are they okay? No, fizzy drinks are always bad for our teeth, even when they don't have sugar. So we shouldn't have fizzy drinks. Are there any drinks that are good for our teeth? Yes, milk is good for our teeth. We should try to drink a glass of milk every day.
Now let's move on to the next slide. I want you to work in pairs to discuss these situations. What should we do and what shouldn't we do? Number 1, I like sweet food, but I don't want to eat too many cakes or biscuits. So, find a partner and discuss. If you like sweet food, but you don't want to eat too many cakes or biscuits, what can you do? Maybe you can eat it in moderation, or maybe you can use healthy biscuits or cookies that are made of oats and just add a little bit of honey to them. Number 2, I want to look after my teeth. If you want to look after your teeth, what should you do when you wake up in the morning and after you eat a meal? Of course, you must brush your teeth very well. Number 3, I'm not hungry at dinner time. If you're not hungry at dinner time, what should you do? Should you eat or should you not eat? Decide and share your answer with a partner. Number 4, I eat a lot of olives because they are good for me. What do you think? Should you eat a lot of olives or should you remember that they are full of salt? So you need to have healthy food that helps your body to grow. Unhealthy food can cause you to be sick and to make you gain weight. So be careful with health issues that may arise when we choose to eat a lot of something. Could be healthy or unhealthy. So we have to watch out for salt, fat, and sugar when we are having our meals or snacks. Now we're going to jump to exercise 1, lesson 4. Now let's look at the picture on the right hand side. In Kenya, people often make nyama na iroyo for dinner. It's a stew with meat and potatoes. It's wonderful. I love eating it after school when I'm very hungry. Let's look at the picture on the lower left hand side. I live in Morocco. Tagine is a traditional meal from my country. It's a stew with meat, vegetables, fruit, and spices. The taste is amazing. The name tagine comes from the cooking pot for this food. This was stated by Hamza. Now we will move on to the review by Bradley. Kapenta is a popular type of fish in Zimbabwe. We catch the fish from the lake and dry it in the sun. Kapenta is very good for you, so you can eat it every day. We often cook it with tomatoes and onions. It's great. Now, let's recap. What food do you see? Of course, we see a lot of vegetables, a lot of meat, and maybe even fish, along with carrots, maybe potatoes, pasta. Now, which countries are these from? From Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, and Zimbabwe. So which of these foods would you like to try? So the first picture is a picture of koshari. The second picture on the lower left-hand side is a picture of a tagine from Morocco. And the third is nyama na iroyo from Kenya or Zimbabwe. And the last one is kapenta from Zimbabwe. Now we're going to move on to exercise 3. Read the text again. Are these sentences true or false? Number 1, koshari has got rice and pasta in it. This is true. Number 2, tagine does not have meat in it. This is of course false. Tagine has meat in it, along with vegetables and sometimes fruit. Number 3, tagine is the name of a meal and the cooking pot. That is correct. Very true. Number 4, people in Kenya often have meat stew for dinner. Yes, they do. And they like to eat it after they come back from school or after they come back from work because they feel hungry at the time. Number 5, kapenta is a type of vegetable. Of course, this is false. It's a type of fish. Now, let's read again and complete the table. We're going to complete the information about Marwa, Hamza, Makena, and Bradley. So, we will fill in the country, type of food and ingredients, and the adjectives used to describe the food. Marwa is from Egypt. She enjoys koshari, which is made of rice, pasta, and tomatoes, and the adjectives to describe the food is actually delicious and healthy. As for Hamza, Hamza eats his dish from Morocco, and it is a tagine. It has meat, vegetables, fruits, and spices, and its description is it's amazing. As for Makena, Makena is from Kenya, and she eats nyama ni Irio, which is meat with mashed potatoes, and she says that it is wonderful. And last but not least, Bradley eats from Zimbabwe, and the type of food is kapenta, which is fish, and he calls it great. He describes the food as great. Now, work in pairs and discuss your favorite food. What is in it and how can you describe it? Now we'll jump to our exit slip. Write down 2 things we should eat and 2 things we shouldn't eat. Thank you guys. That's a wrap. This was Ms. Sara Bastioni. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.